Thank you for joining in. I am Siddhi Jain from the Communication Management batch of 22, and I will be your host for this seminar. We're gathered here for a live interaction with an alumnus of 2018, Jimit Shah. Jimit now has more than 3 years of experience in the communications field, working with some of the industry's most leading agencies that most of you would have heard of. It includes Ketchum Samperk, Hill and Knowlton, MSL, Weber Shandvik, etc. Jimit has an experience in providing 360-degree digital solutions to clients' problems with an integrated approach. Some of his works include influencer marketing, celebrity video shoot for MasterCard India, crisis management and leadership profiling for Skoda Auto India, digital marketing for Export Import Bank of India, leadership profiling for Bajaj Finance Limited, content marketing for Motilal Oswal, and strategy and content management for Project Management Institute. Thank you so much, Jimit, for joining in. A quick note for the attendees, please put down your questions in the Q&A section below and we will get back to them at the end of the session. Hello, Jimit.
Hi. Thanks, Siddhi, for that introduction. And that's a lot, but yeah, thank you so much for that. So, I be being an alumni of SCMC. I think it's been 3 years that I've passed out, and it's been a great journey right from the day I started um my first class at SCMC. That is in I think 6 years ago. But yeah, moving on from that, during my course I came across a lot of things. I learned a lot of things, and SCMC and the professors played a very important role during that whole journey. So there are just a few things that I think I have in my mind and which I would like to share. That is, what are the interests that one should have to pursue a course in mass communication, and what's my major in. So I think mass communication is more about passion and more about what you want to do, rather than going after your friends, something that happens usually for MBBS or engineering. Mass communication is more about communicating. It's more about bringing out a change, a positive change. We are basically the change makers. I would like to make keep it that way. And so it's not mass communication. I would like to bust this myth that it's not a glamorous field that most of us feel after watching the Hollywood movies. It's a lot more than that. And I pursued my this thing in public relations. And when I joined SCMC, I joined it to become a journalist, to be very honest. And from that, my journey started. I started learning day after day, semester after semester, and I got to know that no, my passion lies in public relations. I want to communicate, but I want to do something, on the fields of marketing and not on the fields of journalism. And that's where in the second year I joined Marcom, and then in the third year I took PR as my major. And so I'm during this whole course I'm thankful to hundreds of people who have helped me clear my confusion about the field selection. Because when I joined, I was clear I wanted to do journalism, but when I started studying, I got to know that no, there's something called as public relations, and it has a lot of things to do with it. So I had to speak with a lot of journalists who are there in the field. And one of my one person I would like to mention here, who is Vidya Bhushan Arya sir from SCMC. He's helped me a lot. He's sat with me for hours and showed me the pros and cons, the good and better, and what field is good for me, keeping in mind my not only my marks but the way I perform in different co-curricular fields. So yeah, that's about public relations. It's a very dynamic, it's ever changing field. That's what I feel after being in that industry for more than 5 years now, because I have also done my internships in the industry. So it's been 5 years now that I'm in this industry. So yeah, that is one thing that I think that is one thing that I wanted to share.
So, as someone who wants, like, who thinks of majoring in public relations myself, are there a few key points that, one should recognize about themselves when it comes to choosing their specialization?
I think one thing you need to know is where your passion lies. You know, I have had friends from SCMC who've done their advertisements, and today they are great filmmakers. When I say filmmakers, they are into, they are into cinematography, they are into video editing. Someone who has done filmmaking is now into advertisement. And for a person like me, I have done public relations, but I love advertisement equally. So it's honestly all about where your passion lies. All the four fields are interconnected. When you talk about public relations, you have to call up journalists every day. When you talk about journalism, you have to deal with the public relation experts. You have to deal with the movies and the TV series and all those things, the web series that are coming in. So I feel all the four fields are connected, and somewhere or the other, some years down the line, you will find your passion where it lies. So honestly, this is what I feel when someone is thinking about what should I take, because I have been to that place. Yeah.
So, my next question to you would be, from a student of SCMC to now a recruiter, how does it make you feel? Like, how has SCMC helped you shape your dreams to become like this media professional?
So to be very honest, on a public forum today, I would like to say that before joining SCMC, I was an engineering student. I have done an engineering course for a year, and I was not really happy, because what I see there as an engineering student is that there are thousands, millions of people studying the same thing, but they want to bring a change by building something, by researching something. What I wanted is, every time I was good at communication. Right from childhood, I was told, by people that I'm good at communication skills, and that's what I feel. That's what I felt when I went into the engineering college. That no, I don't want to build something. I want to communicate something, and that's when I joined SCMC. And over the years, there are a lot of things that have helped me, change as a person. SCMC gave me a platform to interact with people, interact with industry leaders, and work in the industry. I have worked during my internship for 3 NGO internships. I have worked at Weber Shandwick and MSL, which are world leading public relation agencies. And to be very honest, after working in this field for almost 5 years, what I feel is that SCMC has one of the strongest alumni network ever, or any media college in India. And this network helps you with the internships, with jobs, with, even if you are a freelancer, let's say if you're in a filmmaking field, or even if you are a freelancer in public relations industry, your alumni network is going to help you. And that has helped me. 5 years ago, there was an alumni in MSL who recruited me as an intern. And 3 months back, I am working in Ketchum Sampark, and I recruited two interns from SCMC. That is Urvi and Kushi from the 21 batch. So this is how it's a life cycle. And this is I was on the other end 5 years ago, and I am on the other end 5 years later. So I feel proud to be that alumni who can help the budding media professionals getting internships. And so yeah, that's it. And to briefly talk about my professional journey, you have mentioned a lot of brands, but there are a lot many that I've worked with, like, let's say, Marvel India, and you have Star World, you have Sula Vineyards, and there are n number of brands that I've worked for. And it's not that I wanted to stick to one sector. I always wanted to explore. I always wanted to learn new things, learn more things, and make contacts. Because at the end of the day, media and communication is all about contacts. The stronger the contact and the network you make, the better professional you will become in this industry. So I have worked on Kapil Sharma show exclusively for the PR of Kapil Sharma show. I was there for 12 hours a day, and I had to sit there. I had to talk with the celebrities coming in. I had to talk with Kapil Sharma himself. I had to make them understand what the show is about and take out the gossip, put it into media. So these things matter a lot when you grow as a professional. From traditional PR to digital, I have seen a shift myself. I used to be a traditional PR expert, and today I am into digital for almost 2 years now. And I think that the next shift is digital. So these are the things that I have seen, and these are the things that have grown in the PR industry over the past few years. So yeah, PR gives you a lot of exposure and experience, all thanks to SCMC for that.
I'm definitely going to hold on to the contacts point. But having this conversation, we can't skip the ongoing situation. So it's been over a year since the inception of COVID-19. And according to you, how has communication, changed in the industry because of this?
So, every industry, to be honest, was affected with COVID-19, and every workplace has seen a drastic change. The good part about PR industry is that it didn't take us much time to adapt to the new normal, because we are, we work from a studio, we work on shoot, we work in cabs, and we work from home, of course. So working part to talk about was not much new for the PR professionals. But when we talk about the actual scenario, the work increased with the COVID taking in, and a lot of traditional PR, the print PR publications started shutting down. For example, Mint and DNA all started shutting down, and the load was now on the digital part of it, because the traditional PR was stuck. Let's say a year ago, in the month of June, July, journalists were losing jobs and the publications were shutting down. So everything was now stressed on digital. The global PR industry has always or has already taken a shift, which is 70% digital now. But the Indian PR industry was expected to take this shift in 2030, which happened in 2020. So we are right now following the global trends. When we speak, being a part of Ketchum, which is a global agency, when we speak with our global counterparts from different countries, we get to know that there's a lot more to learn in terms of PR from different people from different countries, and there's a lot more new things coming in India in the PR aspect. So that is one thing where the digital PR took in, and they're all the Fortune 500 companies. They started off with their COVID relief camps and COVID relief funds. So they wanted a PR out of it. Of course, though it was a social activity, they wanted a PR out of it, and that's where we had to stretch ourselves. We had to push ourselves to do as much as possible to get traction for that particular company. And that's where we I myself saw a shift where my traditional counterparts had to start learning digital, because their clients started asking them to, how can we leverage this particular piece on digital, how can we leverage a leader on digital. A person who was not present on LinkedIn now has a 10,000 follower base on LinkedIn. So that's how the PR industry has grown over the past 1 year, and it is going to grow in the coming future, because when I talk about global trends and when I talk about the global industry, it has seen a massive change, and that change has happened in India 10 years prior. It's a premature change that we are experiencing right now. So this is something, when we talk about the COVID situation, all of us had long working hours, but it was at the same time exciting because new things were coming in for us. So yeah, I think I hope I was able to answer that question for you.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Adding to what
Yeah.
you mentioned about adapting to this new change, What do you think students should be doing, instead outside the curriculum, taking extra initiatives in what aspect to, in the future, be able to manage these new changes that come through in the industry?
Honestly speaking, when I talk about myself, of course, if I talk about myself, I'll be boasting. But when I talk about the students I've worked from SCMC, I will talk about Urvi, we have Kushi, I worked with, Ahan from 2019 or 2020 batch. So, I see that SCMC students are already ahead of time. They know how to manage it, they know how to do it. I have worked with a lot of people from various institutes, and you know don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing, I am just saying here the things that I have felt and I've experienced. But what I feel a professional should have or should develop over the time is time management, regularity, efficiency, good communication skills, and professionalism. So, these five are the pillars of a good PR professional. Time management, if your client says, I need a report at 10 a.m., even if you have slept at 5 a.m. on a on a Sunday night, it doesn't matter. 10 a.m. the report needs to go. So, because when you deal with global clients, I myself deal with global clients, and things don't stop. When I send something, it doesn't stop at a Delhi or Bombay. It goes to a New York or Paris. So, that's where the efficiency and regularity kicks in. So you need to be efficient enough, because there's time gap, there's a difference. If they request you something, you're going to receive it late night. No, don't work late night, but plan your next day accordingly, so those things are sent on time. So that's where the efficiency kicks in. If you work well, trust me, I'm serious. If you are efficient, you can finish off your day in 6 hours. You will have 2 hours to read a book, let's say. And if you are not efficient, 24 hours are going to be less for you.
Yeah.
So that's it. And being in a communication industry, I think good communication skills is a must. You need to understand the client language, you need to understand the industry language. If you're into traditional PR, you need to understand the journalism language. If you want a press release to be published in a newspaper, you need to develop that kind of a relationship with the journalist. When I was working on Kapil Sharma show, one of my news coverage broke records, and unfortunately, I won't be able to say it here. But one of my news coverages broke records. That was because of the communication skills and the relationship I had developed with the journalists. It's not just that you send a press release, hello, please carry my press release. No, you need to be aware of their birthdays, you need to be aware of the days. If it's Women Day, please wish them. And it's not that you have to wish them because it's a Women's Day. You need to have that kind of a courtesy to do that. So, and professionalism and ethics is something which is must. If you are at an event, and your client CEO tells you that you can have a drink. No, I'm sorry, I cannot have a drink. I am on work, I cannot have a drink. Anything can go wrong. I am there, I am the crisis manager as well. When I'm on an event, I cannot have a drink. So, and you cannot tell them that no, I won't. You need to be very polite with those people, because they are your clients, they are the industry leaders you are dealing with and you're serving. So, that's where professionalism and ethics kicks in. And all of these combined is a good PR professional, is what what I've learned and I feel from my field experience. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree. You need to have a way to work around your relationships, of course. And,
Yeah.
you know, with all of this, with all the qualities that you've mentioned, that I'm sure our attendees, would work on themselves to imbibe all of those. What is one advice you would give the current batch of SCMC? What should they be thinking of once they're stepping out? And along with that, aspirants who are looking to enroll in SCMC, how is the world out
I
there for
will.
them?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Siddhi. Actually, you need to be when I would answer your first question first, which is what advice will I give? One thing is, don't miss a single opportunity. However small it is, don't miss an opportunity. I never miss an opportunity. Wherever I go, I PR for myself. I PR for my brand. I PR for Ketchum. Don't miss an opportunity. You never know what business you get to work on. I have, when you see about the clientele I've worked on, it's not just auto sector or finance sector. It's an amalgamation of all the sectors. Whatever opportunity I got, I've worked. You tell me it's 12 a.m. Kapil Sharma shoot is happening, you need to go, okay, I'll go. I have exited my parties just to get some work done. So it's at the end of the day, this kind of an attitude will only get your name better in the industry. I am not saying work overnight, or I am not saying work over hours for that matter. But when things are there, when there's an opportunity, don't miss it just because you are at a party, let's say. So I have never, since I started my first day at SCMC, I have never missed an opportunity. We used to have a 2 project scheme where minimum 2 projects had to be submitted. I used to do 5 projects a semester. I never missed an opportunity. It was a photography project, okay, I am there. It was a PR project, I am there. It's an event, I am there. So I never missed an opportunity because I believe that it's a learning process, and that's how I have developed this kind of an attitude and a CV. Now there are professionals who would want to go for masters. I myself want to pursue masters. If I have a good CV, I will have a good university to look into. If I don't, I won't. It's as simple as that. So opportunity is something that I would request all the SCMC students to run for. If you want, I can help you with opportunities. I have connections in the industry. I can get you opportunities. So that's one thing. And the second question, can you please repeat your second question?
My question to you is, what should aspirants look for when they're rolling into SCMC?
SCMC is
What should
amazing.
they be expecting? It's a one-line
So
answer.
yeah, SCMC is amazing. To go back to my first point, amazing alumni network, some of the best professors, and of course the contacts that they have in the industry. My colleagues and my friends have worked with directors like Imtiaz Ali for, let's say, during the internship, or in ad agencies like Ogilvy, and in PR agencies like Weber Shandwick, and in journalism, houses like NDTV or Quint. So this is only possible because of the contacts and the alumni network of SCMC. So if you are coming into SCMC, be prepared. It's a roller coaster ride. It's an amazing ride. Unfortunately, because of the current events, I'm not sure when is SCMC reopening, but we used to have a lot of fun. In my second year, in my second semester, the third year students used to make their degree films, and we used to be on shoots overnight. I worked on 3 degree films. So for when I talk about opportunity, I worked on 3 degree films. So it's a learning process. So be ready for it. Have that passion, have that zeal to do something for the society, for yourself, for your network, let's say. And yeah, if you have all these things, SCMC is the best place that you can be in, trust me. So yeah, and the environment that SCMC has, it's open, it's inclusive,
Yeah,
and you get to
definitely.
learn. I come from Baroda. It's a tier 2 city, and when I came to Pune, it was a shock. Not only cultural but an educational shock for me. But once I stepped into SCMC and I made friends and I met the people, I think I saw the change myself. Today, when I go out in the media field, in the industry, I know I have a stand. I know I come from Symbiosis. So we have the pitch, we call it. When we go to a new client, we make pitch decks. First thing that mentions in my pitch introduction is Jimit Shah, a graduate of Symbiosis Center for Media and Communications. Now that's what matters the most.
I agree. It's definitely a brand name in itself. Now,
Yes.
Jimit, you earlier pointed out about how freelancing is also a very broad industry in, communications. There's a question here. What is the scope of freelancing in the ad or PR industry, and how does one go about with it? Would you like to throw
So
some light on that?
freelancing is a growing industry in India. Government is themselves thinking of regulating this particular freelancing industry, So there's a lot of scope in freelancing. There's a lot of scope in, let's say, tier 2, tier 3 cities where people don't know what PR is. People are afraid of newspapers. People are afraid of getting their names in the newspapers. They think getting a name in newspaper is just negative. So there's a lot of scope here. Talking about tier 1 cities, there are freelancers every day needed for, let's say, for advertisement. Graphic designers are needed. I need graphic designers on daily basis. I have a team of graphic designers. I still need new ones. I still need freelancers. So and there are content writers needed. There are consultants needed. Let's say if I have worked in a traditional and digital field. I get a lot of proposals where I can give my services. I can provide my services on project basis for 1 month, 2 month, where a client is looking for some part of digital and some part of traditional. So there are ample opportunities if you want to, and these days agencies are opening up their contracts. So initially the contracts used to be you cannot work or earn from anywhere else, but because of the COVID situation, the agencies are opening up their contracts. They are allowing their professionals to do freelance jobs, and that's where the opportunity again kicks in. If you want to take up the opportunity, if you are getting one to work on. So
Yes.
there's and not only these, there are freelancing opportunities in filmmaking and in journalism.
Yeah, and as you
Content
said
writing,
earlier,
photojournalism, and in PR field, there are the complete digital space is taking a shift, and that's where freelancers are needed. People, brands, the new brands, startups, they don't have enough money to pay to an agency. They need freelancers. They cannot hire someone. They need freelancers. If you build your network of freelancers, you are a PR professional, you have one graphic designer with you, you have a content writer with you, go pitch yourself as a freelancer.
yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, so the freelancing is a great deal in near future. It's already a deal right now. I have a friend by the name of Yash who is into filmmaking, who is into video coloring. He's a freelancer himself. He never ever started a job. He's a colorist. I have never seen him free. He's worked with brands like Uber, Ola, Amazon. He's worked on music videos. I have never seen him free. He started off with a laptop. Today he has his own studio in his house. So
That's inspirational.
yeah. So I have n number of stories of freelancers if you want me to tell, and I have n number of stories of full-time media professionals who are really successful.
No, and as you said earlier, if you have an opportunity, be really quick to grasp it. And I think that makes all the difference.
Yeah.
There's another question that can you please briefly differentiate the professional difference between advertising and public relations?
Oh,
Because
that's
they're
that's
quite
that's a very good
overlapping.
question, and the difference is humongous. What advertisement does is getting paid, paid reach for your brand and your products. What PR does is a sure shot, unpaid organic reach. Advertisement is getting a front page ad of L'Oreal, and PR is getting an article in a newspaper of a new product launch or the CEO of L'Oreal and what he or she has to say. So there's a lot of difference. And again, going back to your question, answering one more difference is keeping the paid and organic part aside. Uh, Advertisement is more about taking your product and your brand to every possible household, to every possible person. And PR is to create an image, establish a brand of your product or your brand. So, when I talk about industry leaders, I am not going to advertise Mr. Ratan Tata. I am not going to advertise Mr. Anand Mahindra. I am going to PR for him. I am going to get him an article in, let's say, Times of India, or I am going to take care of his LinkedIn profile and his Twitter profile, and what he posts. I am going to suggest him that, today this thing is trending and you should post. And today you should post an article. I'm going to write an article for him. So these are the two differences I feel between ad and PR.
Yeah.
They are two fields. They fall under the media groups. Omnicom owns TBWA and owns Ketchum. WPP owns Ogilvy and owns Hill and Knowlton. Now Ogilvy is an ad agency and Hill and Knowlton is a PR agency. Ketchum is a PR agency and TBWA is an ad agency. They go hand in hand, but there are a lot of differences. There are a lot of brands that we work together. PR and ad agencies, we get a complete mandate and we work together. So, we design campaigns in an integrated approach manner. So I think they work hand in hand, but they have their own pros, they have their own cons.
No, we have a lot of other questions coming in here, but due to time limitations, of course, we won't be able to take them all. I hope, Jimit, we can connect with you beyond this again and keep the conversation going. So thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. And it was an insightful session. It gave us such a good ground base into the industry. I also thank all the attendees for joining in, and we will definitely try to bring in a lot more sessions for you all. Just stay safe, stay home. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Siddhi and SCMC. I would like to thank Kavita ma'am as well for all these efforts. And I hope I was able to guide the upcoming professionals in the field. I am always up for a conversation. I'm always up to solve your doubts. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jimit.
Thank you. Yeah.